How vitamins changed my life into women. As Victor Cummings, Senior VP of Sales for a small metalworking company, I was on top of the world. Standing 5 feet 9 inches and 180 pounds, I was a formidable component in basketball, baseball, softball, soccer, well, just name it. I was very competitive and fast. I had risen to VP level in just 8 short years and was well respected among my peers. Mandy and I met in college and fell in love. Mandy is 5 feet 8 inches and 140 pounds, with a beautiful figure. She is really a knockout too. Soon after graduating, we married and moved to Chicago for my new company. I started in sales and was very successful in my job. The financial rewards were great, and we moved to the suburbs into a very nice house. Mandy couldn't have children, and I never pushed the subject with her. Mandy was an only child, and I have a 2-year younger married sister living in Hawaii. Both our parents had died early, and Mandy and I were on our own. Our life was really perfect with no responsibilities other than to each other. Mandy found a job in healthcare, and she also was very successful. No, I mean extremely successful in a short period of time. We commuted every day for an hour, but really didn't mind the trip by train back into the city. It gave us time to talk every day to and from work. We became best friends, not just lovers or husband and wife. We could tell each other anything that was on our minds without worrying about how each other would feel. No subject was off limits, and I would talk with her about women's fashions, the latest hairdo, and so on, and she would talk about golf matches and loved football season. She was a true Bears fan, and I was a true Cubby fan. As I said, we were best friends. The company I worked for was going through some hard financial times. We were trying to compete against the big boys in the industry, and there was always pressure to increase sales. We were also primed for a takeover. Well, guess what? A Japanese company did have their eye on us, and our investors were courted heavily, finally accepting a buyout offer, making them very rich. I too was financially rewarded from the stock price and options from the buyout. The bad news was that the new company would integrate into the existing company, making many of us redundant. No one knew for sure who would stay or who would be let loose. The problem was the industry was not healthy and jobs were scarce. This was a scary time for all of us. D-Day hit and the entire management level was fired. Here I was 30-something and no job. Mandy told me not to worry and that we could survive on her salary alone. My pride didn't allow that though, and I felt like I betrayed her. We didn't travel together to work and our talks were non-existent. I tried looking for work but wouldn't take a job for less than a third of what I made with my old company. This went on for 5 months as I slipped into a deep depression. I would sleep into 10 a.m., clean up the bedroom, and sit and watch TV most of the day. I would take care of the lawn and other basic chores, but didn't really have the heart to do anything extra. My weight dropped and I became soft and weak, not the trim, fit body I had when I was working and being active in sports. I withdrew from all my sporting activities, including golf, and became a major couch potato. Mandy would try and get me to do things and get more active, but I felt like a loser, and every day without a job proved it. One day I woke up early just after Mandy had left for the city and told myself that was it. If I had to stay at home, I would make it the best home anyone could imagine. It was like an epiphany. I started cleaning myself up, cleaning each room of the house, tended to the lawn, the flowers, and had dinner ready for Mandy when she came home. I felt like I was finally contributing. During my renewal, I ordered some vitamins from a TV commercial. They promised revitalization of muscles, greater energy, better stamina, a feeling of wellness, and they were all natural from the rainforest in Africa. The company pushing the vitamins was South African and boasted testimonial after testimonial of how good they worked and the successes using the products. Not knowing anything about the drug industry and the typical compounds in the drugs, I trusted their sales pitch and testimonials. As part of the new me, I ordered a year's supply and soon was taking almost 10 pills of various colors and sizes each day. They really did make a difference in my energy, focus, and health in a short period of time. My weight still dropped though, and my muscle mass seemed to stabilize even though I was doing more exercises. Oh well, at least I wasn't getting fat. My stamina increased and I felt very healthy from the supplements. Mandy was really proud of me and commented on how good I looked and how happy she was that I was the old me. My work at home became my life and I didn't have any urge to get back into looking for work or playing sports. I even loved working with the flowers, manicuring the lawn and gardens, making sure to have fresh flowers in the house and in our bedroom every day. My cooking skills improved and I was serving gourmet dishes every night. I enjoyed becoming the house husband. I even liked ironing. Yes, ironing. I could be exact in my creases and I strived to take every wrinkle out of a garment. After a few months, the fall weather approached, forcing me to spend more time inside than out. I made sure the gardens were well tended for the winter. I was going to miss being outside, but Chicago winters are cold and everyone stays inside. My work clothes were getting grubby too, and I started throwing them out, opting for loose shorts and tees in the summer, and finally loose sweats and sweaters in the colder season. I would stay in these clothes every day and didn't try on any of my suits or dress clothes for over 6 months. Mandy came home from work one night and told me that we were invited to a cocktail party. I realized I hadn't been out to a party or even associated with my old friends since being let go. I agreed, and that night we looked over my clothes and suits to see what I would wear. I tried on a couple of my old suits, but with my losing weight, the waist was too big and the jacket just hung on me. Oddly enough though, my butt seemed tight in the pants. I tried tightening the belt, but the pants looked ridiculous with my waist much smaller and my ass sticking out. Mandy said we should go get some new clothes and planned on shopping the next day. We went to the local mall and tried all the major stores catering to menswear. Forget the suits. They would all have to be taken in and they wouldn't be ready for the party. They would also look odd with how much needed to be altered. Store after store, but no success. The clothes just didn't fit right. We finally ended up in a European designer store with very stylish clothes for men and women, expensive too. The styles were too androgynous to my liking, but Mandy liked them and we could mix and match things to make a set. The shirt she chose was kind of silky and the pants had no pockets, but fit pretty well. The best fit all day. She also chose a soft sweater in a light pink color to match the pants and shirt. I guess it was okay. They were men's things and her reasoning to match fabrics and colors made perfect sense. She even bought me some silky underwear and thin calf-high socks, nylon, so the pants would look trim and fit. The shoes were also very European and could have been worn by a woman. A little higher heel than I liked too, but she told me how good they looked with the outfit and I just agreed. That Friday I cleaned up, made sure my fingernails and hands were clean, Mandy's obsession, dressed myself in my new clothes, and got ready for Mandy to come home. I made some canapés and had some wine opened. We shared in her day's activities while eating the canapés and savoring the fine wine. She complimented me on my clothes and how stylish I looked. As she passed me in the kitchen, she swatted my ass. But aren't we getting a little plump in the bottom, honey? Plump? Yes, I was getting plump, but did she have to say it? I looked at her and she came up to me and hugged me saying I looked great and not to worry myself about it. I had time to work it off now that I'd be inside for winter. I wore the sweater around my neck, folding the arms over my shoulder. The colors did really match good and I did feel very stylish. Not many men were wearing casual clothes and about half had on suits. I felt a little out of place, but enjoyed the party anyway. Mandy and I left the party and drove home, getting home around midnight. She couldn't wait, stripping off her clothes and mine as we made our way to the bedroom. We were both tipsy from all the alcohol and couldn't wait for some sparks to fly. We woke the next day with Mandy stroking my ass in the underwear. I was wearing hers and she was wearing mine. We must have had some fun last night, as she giggled, telling me what a great lay I was. I actually blushed. It was a great time though. My nipples seemed a bit sore though. I wonder what she did last night to make them sore. Oh well, what I remember was fantastic. I got out of bed and noticed how well her panties fit. They didn't pinch me like mine did, and they seemed to mold to my ass. I looked in the mirror and Mandy also noticed. Wow, you look great in those, dear. Maybe we have to get some more for you to wear. They did feel good, I have to admit. I threw on my robe and went down to fix some coffee. After coffee, we got up and showered. Our undies definitely needed some laundering with all that juice between us. I put on my new silky underwear and could tell they didn't fit as well as Mandy's. I slipped on my sweatpants and t-shirt like normal. My nipples were really sore and the rubbing against the cotton fabric began to bug me. I came out to the kitchen finding Mandy reading the newspaper and munching on a bagel. I grabbed a donut as she said, "Better watch out for those carbs, dear. Everything will settle in your ass." She was right. Less carbs for me. I took a grapefruit and enjoyed my breakfast. I had some cleanup work in the basement scheduled for Saturday while Mandy went and had a manicure and pedicure. She had a standing Saturday appointment at a spa for her nails. She was obsessed with how they looked and how well she kept her hands and feet. On Sunday nights, I would massage her feet and hands and file some of the rough spots on her feet before applying foot and hand cream. She would then don special gloves and socks designed for these treatments. A nice powder blue color. Kind of reminded me of rubber inside, but I guess that's what they are designed for. Working in the basement was hot and sweaty and my chest was really beginning to bother me. My nipples seemed to be rubbing on my shirt and become very raw. I tried loosening up the t-shirt by stretching it, but that just seemed to make the rubbing even worse. I finally had to stop and sit down for a bit. Mandy came home while I was in the kitchen taking a break when I told her I had a little problem. I proceeded to tell her about the rubbing and soreness in my nipples. I felt I could tell her anything and she was genuinely concerned. She asked if I was doing anything different, changing shampoos, changing clothes detergents, or anything that might cause a reaction. I couldn't think of anything. I was still taking my vitamins, but the soreness didn't start until 2 weeks ago. I have been taking the vitamins now for over 6 months. Mandy went to the bathroom and came back with 2 large 2-inch band-aids. "Here, let's try these. They may help stop the chafing." I took off my shirt as she gasped. "Wow, they look real sore and puffy. Did I do that to you last night?" I nodded and she told me she was sorry. The band-aids should help. I don't have much chest hair, so I hope taking them off wouldn't be a problem. I put the t-shirt back on and the band-aids did make an improvement. At least I could move without them hurting. They still felt puffy though. I finished the work in the basement and had a nice dinner with Mandy. We were both tired from the previous evening and morning aerobic activities and retired early. I still had the band-aids on because the t-shirt I slept in would still hurt them. We woke up on Sunday morning fresh and ready to start the day. We had breakfast, showered, and got dressed. I removed the band-aids after the shower and felt the soreness return. Taking them off hurt too. Mandy was looking at me a little odd when she said, "You know what? I'll bet if you wear a silky top your nipples won't hurt. I'll bet the cotton or the chemicals are bothering you." She went into her closet and came out with a silky camisole. I looked at her and said, "I'm not wearing that, that's for girls." She said, "Okay then, suffer Mr. Macho Man." I looked back at her and took the cami. I didn't want to hurt again and removing the band-aids hurt more than I expected. I slid the cami over my head and it dropped down over my chest. The silky feel was much nicer and there was no pain. She threw me a button-down shirt and told me to put it over the top. Once I buttoned it up you couldn't really tell I had the silky cami on. She then threw me a matching pair of panties to the cami. "Here, you may as well wear the set. I don't want things washed unmatched." She was right. It looked like I'd be wearing the cami until my chest stopped hurting, and washing it without the panties would ruin the set. At least it made sense to me at the moment. I put on the panties and they felt like a glove. They fit much better than my old cotton undies, or even the new silky men's undies. These seemed to fit me without any bunching or pinching. I put on some more sweats as she said we were going shopping. Shopping, twice a week. Oh well, she must need some things. Off to the mall, we went again. Mandy was on a mission while I strolled around the store looking at electronics, tools, you know the drill. I met her checking out and saw a pile of women's lingerie and clothes. She must be ready to work out is all I could think of at the time. I took the backs as we went to the lotion store. She stocked up on foot lotions, hand lotions, body creams, medicated body creams, and so on. I grabbed the bags again and she said we were done. We drove home and I carried in all the purchases. We were in the bedroom when she unpacked the clothing bags. There were 3 sets of camisoles and panty sets, 2 very thin bras, and 2 pastel-colored jogging sets, definitely women's though. She folded the camis and panties and began putting them in my underwear drawer. "Hey, what are you doing?" I said. "Well, if you're going to wear these from now on, I don't want you ruining mine. These should be done in a few weeks." I picked up the bra. It read 36 nearly A. Mandy was a 38C. Oh no, she got this for me too. The jogging sets too. What was she trying to do to me? "Hey baby, I know this is a shock to you, but we can't have you uncomfortable anymore in clothes. They are only clothes. What's the big deal? Here, let us try the bra on. There's no padding or form and no underwire, so it won't give you any cleavage. It will just wrap around your chest and protect your nipples. I also thought the jogging suit may fit better too, and your things are getting really ratty looking. Here, let's try on the bra. Before you try it on though, I have some medicated cream that may help reduce the soreness." I took off my shirt and camisole as she opened one of the creams she bought and started rubbing it on my puffy chest. I did feel good as she rubbed the cream in, almost a little too good. I was getting goosebumps and tingling down my spine as she brushed her hand across my nipples. The nipples were actually getting hard too as she continued applying the cream. She finished and said, "Okay, let's try the bra now, baby." She helped me with the bra. She showed me how to wrap it around and hook it together, spin it around my body and into place, and then put my arms into the straps. I followed her instructions, fumbling a bit, then got it in place. She helped fit the straps and was pleased with how well it fit. She was right, no pushing up or making boobs on me. The soft material did make an immediate improvement in how my chest felt. She told me to put the camisole back on to further help friction with my clothing. Next, she threw me the bottoms to the jogging set. I pulled the pants up and they fit great. Snug in the waist and just the right amount of room in the ass. She had me put the top on and it fit perfectly too. A little room in the top though where my boobs would be. Oh well, it felt good and fit well too. "There, you look great, dear." I had a feeling they fit better. They are just for around the house anyway. No one's going to know. I looked in the mirror and saw me, but in a bunch of girls' clothes. The odd thing is, they felt fabulous. I didn't want to show too much enjoyment though. The weeks seemed to fly by as Mandy fell back into her schedule of work while I tended to the domestic chores in the house. I cleaned every week, did the food shopping, did the laundry, taking special care of Mandy's and my lingerie, and did all the cooking. I also found myself enjoying painting floral arrangements in our studio as well as arranging the flowers I cut into beautiful centerpieces. I wore jogging suits every day and even had to order more loose clothing online. I bought more women's jogging suits, women's exercise sets, and even loose women's khakis. Men's pants just didn't seem to fit right anymore. I found that I could wear tees over my camisole and bought some tank tops and other short-sleeve tees from Victoria's Secret and other women's stores for working around the house. I even liked the bright colors more than the drab gray and blue colors from the men's section. Even with the workouts and increased exercise, my ass still remained plump and my chest never seemed to reduce the swelling. By using the bra and camisole though, my nipples and tissue didn't chafe anymore. One problem solved. The bra seemed to be getting a bit tight though. I also found that I didn't have to shave every day but every 3rd day. My skin was also very smooth and the little hair I had on my arms and legs seemed finer. I could count the hairs on my chest and liked the way I looked with my tight abs. They weren't that tight now though. Soft and smooth but firm. My activities also extended out to the neighborhood. I felt comfortable that everyone basically ignored me and didn't see me as a guy in drag but a normal girl. I would even have some fun and wear some makeup and lipstick to complete the illusion. As long as I got cleaned up before Mandy got home, it was okay. It was my fun time and I liked faking people out about my gender. I had tried cross-dressing when I was a kid and enjoyed the entire process of making myself look like a girl. The clothes helped with the illusion, as did the longer hair. I let it grow because I really didn't want to go and get haircuts anymore, and it helped hide me as a man and not some odd-shaped freak. I liked long hair anyway, so what was the big deal? I would play with teasing it and setting it up while Mandy was off at work. No big deal, it was just fun trying new things. I would also venture out and go shopping in the malls and local strip stores. I was usually mistaken for a girl and got a kick out of getting people to help me or getting a drink or meal for free. It was just fun to play around without any responsibility.